whoever is running the PR campaign for renting stuff right now, I just gotta say, you're crushing it. You're absolutely crushing it. If I can hire you, please reach out to me because the number of people I meet these days who've convinced themselves that somehow not owning things is the secret, the hack to getting wealthy, it's incredible. It's incredible. Whenever I calculate my net worth, Kara and I's net worth, I look at the things we own, subtract what we owe, and what's left, that's our net worth. At least that's how I do it. That's how I do it. And, I get it. I do get it. If you're in like New York or California or something, real estate's real expensive out there. So maybe you do own a bunch of rental properties and rent your primary. I can totally see that working. But are the people who own their homes in New York and California not wealthy? Everyone I know who owns a home in those places tends to be pretty wealthy because of that home. Just saying. But then there's the stock thing, and yeah, I get that. That makes a ton of sense actually, because I objectively think there's a lot of benefits to stocks that are superior than real estate. It's why I own stocks. I own plenty of stocks myself. But when it comes to percentage of income, and how much you actually put into the market. If you're not one of those 500K plus a year earners, which is basically 98% of y'all out there, how much of your income are you actually putting in the stock market every year? So if you're renting and saving and investing, what percentage of your income and your savings are you actually piling into that market? Because I don't know a lot of people who put more than 20%. I know some, I know a few very well actually, but I don't know a lot who do that. And when you think about housing in terms of what percentage of your income it takes up, whether you own it or rent it, for most people, 20 to 50%. That's where it tends to fall. So what if of that 20 to 50%, a percent of that came back to you in the form of equity? What if you also got a leveraged return appreciation on top of that? I'm not saying that renting and investing in the stocks is not potentially a better way to go, but for most people, just owning their home and letting that equity conversion happen tends to be a better savings plan. That's why objectively most homeowners have much higher net worths than renters, because while renters can buck the trend and do this, it's very hard for them to accumulate enough other assets while renting. Meanwhile, the homeowner has this one big asset, it's really working for them, and they're buying the stocks and they're doing bonds and savings accounts and all that jazz on top of it. So again, I think that's really the thing. It's like, hey, why don't you aspirationally be the 1% of people who bucks the trend and does the hack? Maybe that's the key here. Anyway, just want to say, whoever's doing that PR, you're crushing it. You're doing a really good job.